If you think you understand fully the verdict and the situation, think again. We're going to offer you some perspective into this whole debacle. And at the end of the video, you might be like, I didn't think of it that way.
When I first saw this story, though, I was like, whoa, how did this happen?
We're gonna expose some points, right, that people aren't thinking about, that people think this is normal, that people think that, you know, the law, the government, the justice system is against people and stuff. Hopefully we can give you some perspective, was because everyone out there is saying the justice system is wrong, they shouldn't have done them this way, this and this and this. But when you put your hand in fire, what's gonna happen? So this started with our previous live stream, right? We were talking about the video where he was running away from the woman. He tried to shove her into the car. They got to the corner of the block. He shoved her away, you know what I'm saying? And then she chased him for several blocks, in which if I were Jonathan Majors, she probably would have caught me because my stamina ain't like that.
Yo, Johnny Stamina boy, he was jogging like it wasn't even a warm-up level jog. He was just
he was just after that scene. The next day he gets home and he finds her unconscious in the closet, and he goes ahead and phones the cops and he's like, yo, she's passed out. They come over there, they're like, hey, we gotta arrest you. They arrest the dude, and that's that. Now he's in this whole debacle. We hear some audio that she recorded while they were in an argument. And, you know, at that point, to me, that's not even the red flag, right? But it is a red flag. And she plays the audio and he's like, he's treating her in a way in which he needs her to be, but she is not.
I would like to get to the point where your friends know what job I'm on and go, I think Grace is going to be out of commission. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I won't.
No. Do you understand that? Because that team, that unit, right? Grace has to be in a certain mindset to support Coretta Scott King. You know who that is? That's Martin Luther King's wife. Michelle Obama, Barack Obama's wife.
I know. I'm not. I shouldn't have gone out. I'm sorry.
Let me just lay it out for you, right? If I'm just gonna say this. My temper, my shit, my trauma block, all that said, right? And I'm not saying I'm a great man. A great man. I am doing great things, not just for me, but for my culture and for the world. That is actually the position I'm in. That's real. I'm not being a dick about it. I didn't ask for it. I've worked, and that's the situation. The woman that supports me, that I support, that needs to be a great woman and make sacrifices the way that man is making for her and for them ultimately. Last night, 2 nights ago, you did not do that. You did not do that.
I'm sorry.
Which took away from the plan. And the plan is everything. If it was just you in the house drunk, maybe I could have swallowed it. Or I would have felt bold enough like, oh, babe, let's just go to bed. Which I said to her, I'm just going to go to bed. I'm not hungry, blah, 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 blah. Because Grace isn't here. Why? She was drunk. Why else? She was clogged by whatever was going on. You know what I mean? Fine. I can take that. Fine.
If you play their situation backwards, he's like trying to raise her to be someone who fits in the picture of the goal he set, because he mentioned the plan. He mentioned you are not doing blah, blah, blah according to the plan. We have the plan. The plan is all we have.
Yeah. The Breakfast Club was talking about this, and it was like, yeah, man, he wants her to be black, basically. He wants her to be like.
True. He didn't name all black women.
Yeah. So they came coming from the side of
gosh.
He basically wants a black woman, and they were saying how they actually did a caller in, you know, from listeners that basically are doing something similar. Like they're dating a white girl that they want to be blackish.
They did that.
They did that, and there's some black guys are like, yeah, man, I would like for her to be white, but have the black tendencies, or like some of the attributes type of thing. And it was like, well, you basically just want a black lady. And I guess why the guys don't date the black ladies in particular is because it's too much for them. So it's kind of funny. They want the same things from black ladies, but they're not dating black ladies because they want to avoid a certain thing, but they want a lot of the qualities that they bring at the same time.
That's wild.
Yep.
Wow. We're both married to black women, so obviously that stigma doesn't apply to every black woman out there.
You gotta choose them right out there.
That's what I'm saying. So it gets to the point where she's recording all of this and she's trying to make him look bad because she's going to use that, that audio evidence against him in court or wherever this goes. And then the texts pop up. The text from months ago, bro, that, that makes Jonathan look really bad. Right. Uh-huh. And some people will say, oh, the texts were redacted. Well, why didn't he keep the text messages? If we're talking about the justice system, if she took out a whole bunch of texts and only showed the parts that make him look bad, the justice system depends on evidence. So if you deleted the text messages, but she didn't, and she has them, that's the justice system. That's what you have to deal with. So off those text messages, I think this was already going the wrong way.
So the word got out that he deleted the text messages?
But no. But here's the thing. The text messages that she showed, some people are saying that, she didn't show, like, it's cut off at certain parts. So we don't know the context. Right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So that the counter argument is if her lawyers are the ones bringing the text forward, well, his lawyers could also have countered the whole situation by bringing the full text from his phone forward.
Yeah, because apparently, based on my power observations of how lawyers could do their job, from watching Power, it seems like they can agree to exclude certain evidence from the show. You can exclude certain evidence if it wasn't already there. Like when they turn in their pieces of evidence, like I don't know if you can add more evidence later. I may be wrong, but that's what I gathered.
Yeah, because I think they do have to submit all their evidence before the hearing and whatnot. If I'm wrong, someone correct me. But yeah, I mean, when they saw that evidence, I think they could have made a plea to submit the full text messages if he had them. He didn't have them. But it's very interesting that so many people are so surprised by the justice. By evidence submission alone, we know that the justice system is flawed. The justice system is filled with people. They can only make judgments to a certain point, and they can only make the best judgments based on the evidence and based on their ability to think upon the evidence submitted. So much so that when you submit false evidence or evidence with a skewed perspective, it can change the perspective of the jury and the judge. You can influence a case a certain way that the case isn't supposed to go, thereby skewing it from the truth. For example, when Johnny Depp and Amber Heard happened, you and I, we were like, bro, like this is wild. The dude was getting canceled from his positions before the case was even over. After the case was over, his positions still weren't restored. There's no justice in the justice system in the sense that people think that all the evidence and all the time, all of these situations are going to be judged perfectly. That's impossible. That if that were to be the case, I would want to be in the justice system because they obviously have some superpower that us normal people do not have.
Yeah, and you know what I think? I always would think, because apparently, because the judge or the jury, how they're supposed to be non-biased.
Yes.
You already know people gonna be biased, man.
Yeah, these are normal people. How are they not gonna be biased?
They're gonna be biased, man. I wonder how many trials have had bias to an extreme level when it came to black versus white. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because we know it's a real thing. We know what happens, and majority of the people aren't going to be righteously judging. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah.
They're gonna have their preference, on what they consider good or bad, or true or false. You know what I mean? Like they might be more susceptible to accept that a person of certain color is innocent than the other. Just off rip. And you can't. They can lie on the test or whatever you do to get on the jury. They can lie on that because he was winning. He was in the clear. Not like
Yeah.
it was. She was now the person of interest of, okay, what assaults did she do? And all of a sudden, Jonathan Majors charged with what?
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised
Yeah.
because
She
I
even
thought
had-
he was good money.
You would think so because she has a mental issue. You would think they would be like, oh, because she has a mental issue, let's now go back and think about how she may have injured herself. Let's think about why he was trying to shove her into the car. Let's think about why he was pushing her away from him. And their video evidence, some people have gone over video evidence that showed that the night that she said he broke her finger, and like she had a cut on her head, behind her ear, something like that. Like perhaps she had a head injury, like she was out partying. So there's all of this information that is pointing toward him being an innocent man. But I'm gonna stop there. Let me ask y'all a question. How many celebrities are going to be convicted falsely before you guys realize that these celebrities are choosing people that are absolutely toxic and atrocious for their own well-being? Even better, what about the celebrities themselves? If you can pick someone like this, what does that say about you? How long was Jonathan Majors with this woman before he saw any signs of bad behavior, compromised character, and dishonesty? How long? Let's ask ourselves that question. How long was he dating this woman for? Had he seen signs before all of this? Why did he ignore them? Why didn't he report this? Why did he not leave? Like, when I think about these questions, I'm like, bro, you're probably exactly where you're supposed to be. In all honesty, that's my opinion. I don't know about you.
What my mind go to is that he's been in a lot of projects. He's been in plenty of projects over the years, and of course, the way that we see it roll out isn't when he did it. Like, he didn't just do it and it came out. So I can imagine he had multiple months of work, and balancing the relationship could have been something where they probably saw each other maybe once a week or less, depending on where he had to travel to film or record, or if she comes with him when he's doing his thing. We don't know what she does. I don't know how they work it out. But I can imagine that because he shot like 3 movies: Creed 3, that army movie, and then Quantumanium. So those are 3 pretty big movies. He could have had back-to-back recordings, or even recorded 2 movies at the same time. So I could imagine the work got in the way, and things started happening.
Let me ask you this question. How comfortable would you have to be? Because let's assume Jonathan Majors is a decent, chivalrous guy. How comfortable do you have to be? Bro, how comfortable do you have to be to get into an altercation? I'm asking you personally. I'm asking you this personally. How comfortable do you have to be to get into an altercation with your girlfriend, jump out in the middle of the street, try to shove her in the car, run away from her, forearm tackle her off of you, and run for 6, 7, 8 blocks? How comfortable do you have to be with someone to do that, bro? Bro, tell me, if they didn't spend enough time together, why the heck? Because he knows her. He knows what is coming.
Hey, do you know how long they've been together?
Man, let me look that up right now. This could be part of the research too, right?
Yeah. Let's look it up and see. Let's see, because usually movies might take anywhere from 4 to 6 months, and maybe 8 months if it's a really intricate project. Yeah, I mean, depending on how much they spent time together, depending on how long his projects lasted and how much time he had off to spend with his lady or not, he could have been letting stuff go because of his work. You know what I'm saying? I could imagine him letting things worsen because he don't have time to deal with it because of either work stuff or just out of just exhaustion? What if he just let stuff brush over? Because that's what happened with a lot of these situations. Stuff just piles up and piles up until the explosion happens.
How long was Jonathan Majors with Grace Jabari? Prosecutors said the confrontation was the culmination of a cruel and manipulative pattern of psychological and physical abuse Majors inflicted against Jabari over their 19-month relationship. So this was a year and 7-month relationship.
Dang.
This was no one-time happening. And I'm pretty sure it takes more than a year and 7 months to film 3 big series like that. Like all combined, it takes way longer than that.
Okay, let's say a year, and they had 9 good solid months of just each other. It's a pretty short time, but definitely enough time to get to know each other. You know, if you really are intentional, I think you can get. And then plus, you know, they getting it in. They sleeping together. You know,
absolutely.
So stuff is happening. They freaky time. Yeah, I would say they got to know each other pretty well. They got the money to do whatever they want. It wasn't an issue for them to have fun together. I would imagine 9 months just with each other, back to back, day by day, is a time to have exponential growth if you're intentional with it, and you're doing what you need to do to get to know each other.
Right.
So yeah, I think they're pretty comfortable just off of that idea alone, that they had money, that they had time, you know, and that they, you know, did what they wanted to do as grown people.
Yeah, there are not a lot of roadblocks for sure for people who have a lot of money to just say, taking a overnight flight to come see you. You know what I'm saying? They're not normal people. You have to plan for 2-3 months just to go see your significant other who may live in another state. Right? Most of the time people are working, people have things to do, people have family life. For them, it's like, hey, plane ticket, can you come over like in like a day or two? Done. Right? So there's not a lot of roadblocks for them.
Yeah, man. Managers could set them up and get you on your way.
So obviously this guy had several occasions to note who this woman is. And you know what's even more interesting? That he knew her in this way. He knew that she had a bunch of red flags. He was trying to change her by telling her to exhibit characteristics that other great women have exhibited toward their husbands who are quote unquote great men.
Yeah.
And
hey, I'm sorry, my bad. Because he just looked like a black activist or like a 1950s like the way he was dressing.
Yeah.
He reminded me of Martin Luther King, the way he was dressing. And he mentioned Martin Luther King. That's what I wanted
He
to say.
did mention him. He did.
Yeah, bro. What the? Yo, this is funny.
It's kind of crazy, man. So it's funny too, because people are overlooking the fact that and all of these things that I'm saying against Jonathan Majors, it is going against people's viewed perspective of the guy. We couldn't tell you 100%, but according to the evidence, he was texting other women in the kind of limelight that he's in, right? Because he was texting other women. She got upset. They got in a debacle in the back of the car. They were, I don't know who was going against who, but something happened and they got out and he tried to put her back in. That's what started the whole thing. He was texting other women.
And I wonder, hey, hold on now. The lady that he was talking to, we got to bring her in the picture. He was talking to Megan Good at some point, so I'm curious to when that happened.
You done brought it up before I even could.
Because she was right by his side, like she was there the whole time. So when did this happen?
Look, man. Yeah, we have to bring her in too, because in those videos, she was at the club dancing with some dude. Who dances with a guy in the club? A random guy. That's not your boyfriend. You know what I'm saying?
You're talking about the ex-girlfriend?
Ex-girlfriend, yeah. She was dancing with some the night that she said her hand was broken and she had like a cut. Yeah, she was at a club dancing with some people. Guys, this relationship isn't something that I think people should be losing their minds over. Like, this is a guy that set himself up for failure. I'm not going to say he deserved it, but he definitely set himself up for failure. Why is it that men keep getting into relationships with women who have no boundaries and no standards? Bro, what's his name?
Michael B. Jordan. Yeah.
Lori Harvey? That's the girl he decided to be with.
Ah, la, la,
Johnny
la.
Johnny Depp and that woman. That's who he
Johnny,
decided to be
hey.
with. All right, here's my last point about the whole thing, because we done been over how Jonathan Majors basically did this to himself by going with a woman that he probably saw so many red flags, and he still didn't drop her. One last thing, this dude is now dating Megan Good.
Megan Good, bro. Megan Good is in the hood. That's what I'm saying. When did she come in the picture? Because that's an important timeline. They talk about some multiple timelines in a universe or multiple universe crossing each other. When did she come into this game? You know,
I think she came into the game when she realized a black brother is doing so well. Let me ride that wave on up. I don't trust most 90%, 99% of Hollywood actors and actresses. I don't trust them. How in the world did Megan Good end up with Jonathan Majors after she just got divorced from a pastor, and she knows what the limelight does to men? In my mind, she just wants to jump on the culture wave of popularity, because he was becoming really, really, really popular after everything that was coming out. And probably in her mind, she's like, that's my next dude.
He's on, bro. I'm so sad that this happened. I'm because he's good, man. He's a good actor. I wanted to see
remember when I said this? I said actors, most of the time they mess people up. They mess up your perception of them.
The timing of things happening are for a reason, I think. You know what I mean? I think a lot of times it seems strategic, and whether it is or not, you know, I don't got the evidence to show, but it just seemed too kind of timely. You know, why now? Because I mean, this guy you could tell he was about to be in some stuff, man. He was gonna skyrocket because he was climbing, he was going off, bro. He was about to get paid. You know
what's crazy? When Kevin Hart was at the peak of his celebrity popularity, remember when that woman came out with all of that crap? This always happens.
Yeah, it's like you know, some could say, hey, she was sent to go get him. You know what I mean? I don't know.
And it blows my mind the guys still haven't learned their lesson that a woman can be the most dangerous weapon against you. And they still don't learn their lesson. How are you going to sleep with women that you don't intend on marrying? How do these stars end up picking all the same crazy women just in a different bodysuit?
Yeah,
how is
man,
this possible?
They just get the freaky ones, man. They get the ones that I don't know why. It just seemed like they don't choose them. They don't look for the right types. A lot of them seem like because we know a lot of the freaky ones are crazy, right?
Yeah.
It just seemed like they doing that based on Jonathan Majors, what he was saying he wanted her to be like, right? It seemed like a lot of those stars look for that person beside them to be another star. You know what I'm saying? Like they're looking for that other one to elevate them as a unit or him as a star. You know what I'm saying? So I think the what they're looking for, or it's not the qualities that a wife that will be stable enough for the family has. You're looking for another star so y'all could be a dynamic duo type of thing. And I don't think that's going to work out if you're trying to do the family thing, because that's not looking like you're trying to do the family thing more than you're trying to do the star thing, or the celebrity life thing. You know what I mean? Trying to be another Jay-Z and Beyonce.
That's a very crazy thing. Like it's painful that these guys don't have people by them advising them on the kind of woman. Like they're not even out there looking for these kind of women. They keep ending up with the same woman, and that's the problem. Woman after woman after woman after woman after woman. How many women are you gonna go through? Most of the guys on the street, you go there and you ask them, hey, what if your girlfriend went out to the club and danced with one of her friends? He would probably be like, nah, that's cap, that's over. But I highly doubt he's telling the truth, because over and over again, we keep seeing that these men are making the same mistakes, right? So these men don't have good standards for themselves. They don't understand themselves, let alone pick a woman who can understand boundaries. They're going to pick a woman and then they're going to try to fix her. That's impossible. And you're going to end up, this case is a warning to all men. The court system isn't on your side. The court system is on the side of, most of the time, it seems like in these high profile cases in which some taxes can be gained or some funds can be transferred so some people can make some money. That's all this is about. Because like you said, this looks like it's rigged. All the evidence that there is, and this dude is still guilty on some of the counts. That's impossible. That's crazy. It's rigged,
he was
for sure.
He was on his way out the door, like, you know, what a turn, man. It's like some shot clock cheese at the end of the game. Like, you don't expect a shot to go in from like half court and 0.5 seconds. That's all the time they had on the clock to throw it in, and it went in. Like, bro, there's no way that was supposed to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's how it seems. Like, how did this happen? You asking yourself that question.
All the guys trying to make it, all the guys living a normal life, hold your standards up high. I'm tired of these sad stories of men getting played by women, men getting divorced by these women, where when we jump in your relationship, when we go through your relationship, we can see red flags like crazy. You just thought you could be the guy that she would like chill out for. You thought she could be the guy that she would like be like, oh, you're such a good guy. I just wanna be exactly the woman that you want me to be. Yeah, you're tripping, man.
From what I understand, how people date, they move fast, bro.
Yeah. These stars obviously don't have the mind to settle down because they're so busy with their careers. The men. Talking about the men super celebrity stars are so busy with their career that they can't put their mind to a woman that would help them. They only put their minds to, this woman looks good, let me grab her, smash it up, and then date her for as long as possible until they blow up my life. And then now I'm in the public looking like a victim, looking sad. Dude, just like there's a law for gravity, there's a law for picking bad women. How do you feel bad for someone jumping off of a 3-story house? You don't. You say you deliberately did it. If they deliberately did it. You pick a bad woman, you end up in the court. You saw the red flags, you did nothing about it. You are where you chose to be. You made your bed, lay in it, man. Like, picking a woman is no joke. These dudes are out here smashing women left and right, and you get pregnant with the wrong woman and your whole life is in handcuffs. It's not a joke. It's the biggest decision you're gonna make.
Your life is in handcuffs. Shoot.
I feel bad for the guy, but hey, man, he's got to lay in his bed, bro. And now he's on to Megan Good, the woman who couldn't be, who
couldn't be good to her lady, her husband.
Yeah.
Megan bad.
Part 2. Let's go, Jonathan Majors.
And look, man, I wonder what. Just this is a side note. I wonder what the ex-husband is thinking about with Megan Good being with this guy.
Oh my god!
I wonder his thoughts. I've seen him on interviews, and he always tries to be professional and tries to be like everything's all good or whatever. But nah, man, he done said some crazy stuff, to his family. Somebody got to know the real on what he thinks, man. I want to know that because I know he's probably like kind of happy that things are going bad because he don't want to see her with nobody else probably.
I bet, bro. He was freaking married to her. Now, Jonathan Majors.
Yeah, man. I mean, that was his. Those are his cheeks. Those are his. You know what I'm saying? Goodies. Hey, I'm just keeping it how it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And now somebody else is diving in like a swimmer.
All right, man. Chill out.
Okay.
Hey, man, we probably gave you some theories and ideas that you're probably like, oh, you suck. Let us know. We suck in the comments below. Pause. Like the video, subscribe. Hopefully we can do more of this stuff for you guys in the future. Until then.